And with that, we are about to get into something that is a little bit different here, Richard. What the heck was going on The View the other day?
Look, before I even begin this, I want to say that this is brilliant. I'd not even read the article when I wrote that in my notes because just the title alone was enough for that. This is an article from people.com and that was published on October the 20th, 2022 by Stephanie Wenger. So Joe Behar, host of The View. I'm British. I have no idea who either the woman is or what the show is, but I envision it being something like Britain's Loose Women. And if you've never seen that, go watch it because that's equally stupid. She revealed that she has had sex with not one, not two, but a few ghosts. Whoopi Goldberg, her co-host, who I have heard of, said, I don't know how many of you just heard what Joy said, but I'm going to let it ride. Wait, what? Your co host has just proclaimed that she has had sexy fun time with multiple supernatural entities. And you want to gloss over it? That's almost as strange as a proclamation itself. I was giddy. I wanted to know more. So the 80-year-old Behar said that she had done the love with a few ghosts and never got pregnant. I mean, come on. Ghosts don't have sex tadpoles. Everybody knows that. How could they possibly get you pregnant? So I'm not going to lie, the rest of the article is largely filler and doesn't delve any further into the spooking and shenanigans. And I find that deeply disappointing. But what I do want to know is what you all think about it. So I'm going to pass it straight on over to the mustachioed wonder himself, Mr. Kelley Laughlin.
Oh, my first thought was, wow, I had no idea that Joy Behar was into drugs. And then I remembered that she was a comedian in the past, and I thought she was just going for a cheap laugh. And then I thought, and this had to be the thing, she just gives her sex toys names like Casper, Morley, Slimer. Last one's kind of somewhat appropriate. I'm hoping that's what it was, and she doesn't really believe she was having sex with ghosts. But then again, I worked at a haunted nightclub, and maybe she was actually out trolling haunted nightclubs and singles bars looking for some nightly companionship. As someone who has never had ghost sex, who am I to judge? I don't know. Maybe ghost sex is awesome. If you don't really intend it to go anywhere, or if you don't really mesh as a couple, you don't have to worry about them calling you back on the phone all the time, right? So what do you think, Raphael?
So when I read the title to this, I was definitely had a what the fuck moment. Especially after I read the article, like Richard pointed out, they barely talk about this. That'd be the whole article if I wrote it. So I'd be like requesting interviews with her because I want to get all the hot details on what's going on. Do they have like ghost sex toys, that help both partners? Like, I don't know. Part of me hopes that it was a joke that just didn't hit correctly on the show, but it's definitely an interesting thing to say on national televised TV. So,
Yeah. I mean, I would say, me personally, I'm always a big fan, big believer in consenting adults and engaging, in all types of different safe sexual activity. I will also say that if in the middle of that discussion of that whole consenting adult safe sexual activity thing, your friend just casually lets slide that they've been regularly fucking a ghost, my suggestion would be to kindly ask that person for elaboration for sure, and just be a little, be I'm be friendly. I'm not saying don't be kind, but do I feel like that's an okay kind of activity. We can push back a little. I just had questions with this article. I'm going to be honest. I just had questions. Like if ghosts walk through walls, how does it? Okay, and honest, do ghosts have genitals? Is that a thing? Have I just never known this, you guys? Has this been like common knowledge and I just didn't understand that this was part of the world that we lived in? I truly, it was only questions for me. I probably wrote more questions than the article in its entirety. But Richard, what are your thoughts, man? I
Oh,
mean,
you've
what else
just
you got
killed
on
me.
this?
What are your thoughts on that? You've just killed me, man. I've just had this
Well,
image of just a disembodied penis and testicles just floating through the air.
that is the most scary thing.
And
that
now
could-
you're asking me to comment.
That's just-
Right,
That
so
scare me.
we know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you've just killed me. I'm about to go and have sex with some woman.
Oh, good.
You've just, look, we've some women through history have pretended to have the bouncy with the booby grid.
Mm.
So we've got Mary in the Bible and her
Mhm.
relative Elizabeth, who both had sex with the Holy Spirit. But in almost every case, it's a one-sided, forced experience that bears no resemblance at all to sleep paralysis. No, siree, no logical explanation here.
Mm.
Definitely the phonicantly challenged fright force. It's not sleep paralysis. It's no kind of chemical imbalance. No, we're not having any of that. It's very, very rare that we find someone who casually drops into conversation that they've coaxed the ectoplasm out of the spirit world, seemingly willingly. I, like you, Secular, I wanted to know more. I needed to know more, and the article didn't give us more. I find that deeply, deeply disappointing. Kelley.
I had so much fun with this, and I started thinking about the advantages and disadvantages of having a ghost lover. There are a lot of good advantages. They don't cost you any money because they don't go on shopping sprees, right? If you want to fly somewhere on a vacation, you don't have to buy them a plane ticket. They don't age, and nobody has to sleep on the wet spot, right? Hey, it's always Thursday somewhere. Then there's disadvantages too. If you want to take a photo of the two of you, they just turn out as an orb, right? If you break up, that could be they could be really good stalkers. As Sar pointed out, they just walk right through the walls. Can't even get a locking safe room. They just walk right in. So I don't know, man. I just had a lot of fun thinking about this whole idea. Raphael, you got any other thoughts on it?
I'm gonna pass it on. I'm gonna pass it to Kelley. SR next.
Yeah, no worries, man. One thing that came to my mind right away, again, just so much silliness was what was coming to mind when I read this. And this isn't the first celebrity that I've heard of that has ever like made this statement. There have been other people in the past that have talked about like explicitly saying, yes, I had sex with a ghost. But like for me, what came to my mind was oftentimes the kind of backstory about how ghosts are a thing, right? Is that like somebody died and they had like unfinished business on Earth, and they had something else that they had to do before they could feel like their spirit could move on. And my thought there is that the unfinished business was getting the business, so to speak. And I really loved that. Like, I love the idea that there's a spirit world and like this ghost shows up and then it's like, wait, I gotta orgasm just one more time before I go, this was so much silliness and nonsense. I truly just thought all of it was ridiculous. Richard, what I mean, do you think she's not telling the truth? Is she just confused? I mean, are there actually ghosts out there having sex with people in mass? I mean, what do we do with it?
There are people who genuinely do think that they've been.
Sure.
It's more in the realm of assaulted by ghosts than consensual. There are genuinely people out there who think that. There are also, as our friend student Dr. Ben would acknowledge, good medical reasons for a lot of these illusions that people suffer, whether it be physical or auditory or visual. And yeah, so this is a thing that happens. the thing that got me with this particular case was just the casualness of it all. The casualness of her co-host was seemingly caught completely off guard by it. This wasn't something that had been planned for her to say on the show. She just decided to casually drop it in. Like, you know, as like you might say to your friends, oh, I met a girl the other night. Oh, she was lovely. We went home. We did the business. It was fantastic. And she just happened. She was like just doing that out of the blue. And that's what got me about it. There's a casualness. I don't think she was lying. I think she genuinely thought this was a thing. It's a peculiar thing, no doubt. But you know, I'd love to delve into it further. Like I said, the thing for me about this whole thing was just the entire lack of detail. I think it was Raphael earlier who said that, you know, that the article dropped this bombshell off and then just started talking about something completely unrelated, and everybody was just screaming, "More! Give me more! I want to know more about this ghost sex." Yeah. The article was brief. The story needs more delving into. I think we've said all we can say on that that particular case. Go and read the article for yourself, and if you can find any more information on this, do email us and let us know.
Please, yes, please, because seriously, all 4 of the panelists, 4 out of 4 panelists today agree they want more details on this. So, Pixar, it didn't happen, right?
Yeah,
That's what
yes,
they said.
but
no. Okay, no. We're gonna move on.
but just
So go
don't
ahead,
email
Kelley.
us your ghost porn. I'm just saying, just don't
Absolutely,
email
yes.
us.
No,
Thank
your
do
you.
ghost
email
porn.
us your ghost porn. Absolutely
We will talk to the executive producers after the show. You may never see any of us back on this show again.